All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to give it a minute for everyone to jump on and join, and then we're going to get started.
Good morning.
All right, good morning and welcome everyone to the MAIP Exploring Careers in Manufacturing Industry panel hosted by MidAmerica Industrial Park and powered by Tallo. My name is Paige and I will be your host for today's event. I have the pleasure of working at Tallo as our workforce account manager, and today will be leading us through today's exciting panel. We appreciate the educators and students joining in the classroom today and tuning in to learn about careers in manufacturing. We're going to be kicking things off in a few minutes, but I'd like to take the moment to drop some webinar knowledge of you since this may be the first time some of you are joining. One item of note is you will have your video and microphones turned off for the entirety of the event. So if you wave or say something, we don't wave back. It's because we can't hear or see you, but we're super excited that you're here. We want you to be able to connect and ask questions to the panel today. So make sure that you're using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen to ask questions to our panelists. And we are going to go ahead and start with a quick video, and then we're going to jump into our panel.
My name is Pierre LeBroach. I'm a freshman at Stanford University. I plan to major in computer science or mechanical engineering and aspire to be a robotics engineer once I graduate.
Hi, my name is Ayush Saha. I'm currently at age 18 studying computer engineering at UC Davis, and my future goal is to become a computational neuroscientist.
My name is Leah, and I'm currently a freshman here at Williams College. While I was a senior in high school, I would regularly go on Tallo to find scholarships, and I actually got a couple of them.
Tallo also has a nice feature of allowing you to connect really nicely with scholarships and colleges that are interested in you, or allow you to reach out to them. Through messages, these schools and scholarships can directly contact you, and you would get a notification about it through email, and you'd be able to apply to them and respond back to them. I chose to use Tallo because of the format of the Tallo website. It had a profile that you can create that was able to house and serve as a location for all your accomplishments, activities, and honors in one location, which allowed you to seamlessly transfer it over to a resume. And these resumes that I was able to use because of Tallo was used heavily in a lot of scholarships and colleges I applied to, one of them being the Gates Scholarship. The resume I created from Tallo also allowed me to have talking points that I used to jump off of during these interviews.
So I found this event in Tallo called the STEM Signing Day, and I applied for it, and I was accepted as an honoree. That event was affiliated with Boeing. Soon afterward, I was accepted into the Boeing mentorship program for undergraduate freshmen. I had the chance to connect with dozens of software engineers from Boeing and learn about technical skills and about real-world practical projects being done by Boeing. I was also awarded a scholarship for my efforts connecting with the Boeing engineers.
I initially started using Tallo as a method to find scholarships for college, but once I got into college and didn't really need it for scholarships anymore, it continued to prove incredibly useful. Now I've actually secured an internship because of information that I found on Tallo.
Tallo also allowed me to gain more confidence in my writing skills that I previously lacked right before I began university through a challenge called the Spotlight Challenge that had me create an article for the Tallo community. Through this challenge, I was able to practice my writing skills and become more at ease at sharing my writing with other people.
Tallo has made me confident in my career by showing me that corporate world dynamics and large companies are not just a faraway dream.
Once I got into college, I was able to actually work in New York City for a nonprofit because of an internship that I found on Tallo, and I continued to look at Tallo regularly, and I ended up securing another internship doing energy work for a pretty large energy company out here on the East Coast, which is going to be a really, really interesting introduction into a field of work that I really am interested in. So I've really used Tallo a lot, and it's been incredibly helpful in everything from applying to college, finding scholarships, finding internships, and other job opportunities. So thanks, Tallo.
All right. We are going to be kicking things off now with our panel. Today, we have two companies joining us, Berry Global and HEMSAW, who are going to be talking about manufacturing, their company and their experience. So thank you so much for joining today. Can we go to the next slide, please? Max Harris, Casey Ryan, and Stuart Holland joining us this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, we're going to jump right in and get started with the first question. So the first question today is, can you start us off by providing a brief background about yourself, including your name, your role, your employer?
So I'm Maxwell Harris. I'm the corporate VP over at HEMSAW, and we are an industrial bandsaw and material handling equipment manufacturer here out in the MidAmerica Industrial Park.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Casey Ryan. I'm production supervisor at Stretch at Berry Global. I've been here 13 years.
I'm Stuart Holland. I'm the custom process technician for the custom side. I've been here for 18 years.
Great. Thank you. All right. So let's jump in. So first, what made you first interested in manufacturing? Max, do you want to go first?
Sure. So back in high school, I got involved in FIRST Robotics, and that really got me exposed into what manufacturing is, what the capabilities are, and kind of getting experience with machine tools. Since then, I did internships at HEMSAW, and I've kind of come from the shop floor up. And really, the more you dig into manufacturing, the more and more you realize there's a lot of different directions you can go with it.
Great. What about you, Stuart or Casey?
Well, I started out here out of high school. I was actually worked as a contractor, and I needed benefits and a place that's stable work. And I started here, and I've actually just liked it. From there, they've treated me good, so I've stayed. And it's just you don't do the same thing every day. There's always something different every day.
Yeah, I went to 1 year at NSU in Tahlequah after high school. Started working here as a summer job. Longest summer of my life, 13 years ago. Yeah, I'm the same way. I really like it. Started from the bottom, working my way up to supervisor. It's a great company. They really care about the employees. Good benefits. Safety program is really good. We recognize our employees very well. Holding, different days, red days and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just think it's a really good company to work for, and I'm happy with my decision to stay here.
Great. So in your experience, what type of certifications or degree programs do employers like yourself or working in manufacturing look for? Or what would be a good certification to have if you wanted to work in manufacturing?
Really, it depends on what you're trying to go for. If you're wanting to be a machinist or something on that side, going through a trade school machining program is a great way to show your interest there, and also show what your skills and capabilities are. If you're wanting to get into more IT, get into stuff on that side of things, there's a few certifications through either Cisco or a few others that you can go after. So it's really kind of dependent on what program you're looking at. There's a lot of trade schools in the local area that have some very good certifications for what you're going to need. But OSHA 300 is always a great place to start.
Great.
With Barry, you can start, you need a high school education pretty much, and you can actually develop your skills with Barry. Barry has several things that you can take and you learn while you're with the company. So Barry educates you while you're here. They do have other programs that helps you seek further education, but it's kind of like what Max said, or Max said, it's pretty much what you want to do. If you want to do an R&D department, you need to go to chemical or do a chemical research. So you'll have to go to college for that, but that's pretty much it here.
Great. We had something come in the chat that says we have some students in a welding program on the call joining us today. So is that a program that you would recommend? Are there welding opportunities within your organizations?
At HEMSA, absolutely. Most of our equipment is fabricated. So having that welding certification, or if someone's grown up on a farm and they've been welding out in the fields, they don't actually have to have the welding certification at HEMSA. It helps just to get a foot in the door. But like Barry was talking about, it's really not a requirement. The high school education is pretty much all that's really needed. Beyond that, it just helps get a foot in the door and helps show that you're willing to grow and you're willing to learn.
Yes, completely agree with Max on that. You don't really have to have the certification here through welding. But if if maintenance is your interest, it's certainly going to help you out more in maintenance and maybe give you better opportunities down the road.
That's great. So another question. So if you weren't, in an office today doing this, sitting on camera and talking to us, what would your day look like work-wise? What is a typical day like for you?
That's very dependent on what's going on. As corporate VP, I touch a lot of the different areas. So I deal with anything from the back end on inside sales to working on the shop floor, trying to make sure manufacturing processes are working well, working with our plant supervisors to maintain a safe working environment, to working with our engineering departments on both R&D as well as continuous improvement. And I also work with our IT department to make sure that we're supporting the infrastructure that HEMSA needs to run. So it's running around a lot of different areas and touching a lot of different things, but it's kind of day to day dependent on what actually I'm doing specifically.
My job consists of doing R&D a lot. So we develop new films and we try them here, and I'm involved with a lot of that, trying it on the new line, trying to get this new developed film to run, and then that way we can give the customer a better product. Walking around the floor, making sure everybody's staying safe, making sure the lines are running efficient and safely. And if we have any issues, I'm usually right in the middle of it, trying to figure out why the problem is and what we can do to fix it. That's pretty much what my job consists of.
So yeah, I have 15 to 20 employees that I supervise. Walk around, train them, make sure they're working safe. If they have questions, they can they can always ask me. I'll jump in, help out where I'm needed. There's paperwork throughout the day. I'll have to log in. Yeah, and it's day to day. It differs from day to day. So.
Yeah. Well, definitely sounds like if, someone is looking for a, a career that has, different aspects to it every day and they don't want to sit and do the same thing over and over again, that this might be a great field for them. We did have a question that came in that said, what is R&D and what does that mean?
So R&D is research and development, and that's going to be developing a new process, a new product, or something completely new that the world hasn't ever seen before. So it's going to be trying to be very creative to try to take an existing item or something new and developing it.
Great. And students and educators joining, please keep adding any questions that you have in the Q&A, and we will make sure we try to get them answered today. So another question that we had is, are you noticing any trends in the industry of advanced manufacturing worth noting? It looks like manufacturing is continuing to advance and modernize. Do you have any predictions about that or anything that you've noticed or changed since you've all seemed to have been there for a couple of years and working in the industry?
That's a very interesting one. With the change in demographics of the people, a lot of the baby boomers are starting to retire. So the older employees, there's more and more robotics that's coming in to kind of fill that gap, and automation is becoming a very, very important field. So dealing with robotics, programming, interfacing with the robotic systems, as well as data analytics. So it's going to be pulling data from your equipment, from your machines, and seeing what's going on, how you can improve your process, where your issues are, and then also trying to understand how can you maintain your equipment the most efficiently so you don't have to shut down a line to maintain the equipment.
Yeah, I would completely agree with Max on that. Automation is becoming more and more a part of our process. Every year, it's increasing. I would say safety. I think sometimes maybe the older generation was more of a just show up and get it done, by any means possible. But now we're really slowing down, taking our time, putting safety first. But yes, I would say safety and automation.
Great. So what other professionals or careers do you, job titles, kind of things like that, do you interact with on a daily basis in your current job?
So I work with engineers, I work with CNC machinists, I work with assembly, I work with maintenance technicians, I work with subassembly and full assembly personnel, warehouse personnel, supervisors, managers. So a lot of different avenues and a lot of different job positions. Welders.
Is it the same for you over there at Berry?
For me, I work anywhere from the basic starting level as an operator all the way up to the VP of the company. And R&D, I work with R&D department a lot, engineers, and a lot in my job title.
Yeah, I work, first day employees just starting out, maintenance, quality department, multiple managers.
Great. So next question is, what makes advanced manufacturing important in Oklahoma?
That's kind of a tough one. It's not so much just in Oklahoma, it's globally. If we continue producing the same way that we have in the past, there's never any growth. So adding more advanced manufacturing, adding more capabilities helps companies grow. Companies are here to improve products, generate a better profit, and generate more money and the bottom line. So through advanced manufacturing, we're able to improve our products, improve what we can get out into the field, and it's a global issue. So I'm going to say that's probably about as much as I can think of without going too deep.
No, that's great. All right. So a large number of students mentioned that their dream careers during the registration process for this event were engineering and welding. So we've already hit a little bit that welding is opportunities, but what kind of careers do you have that align within your organization with engineering as well?
So within engineering, we've got manufacturing engineers, software engineers, IT, would have some computer science people. We've got R&D engineers for both mechanical and other operations. We've got mechanical engineering, and we even have a chemical engineer on staff.
We have pretty much the same thing. We have a big engineering department. Like we have several engineers on ours: chemical, mechanical, automation ones, electrical. We got pretty much every engineer you can think of almost on staff. Or very global. They're not at this facility. They work for the corporation.
Great. So next question that we have is do you have any general tips for a high school student who's looking to pursue a career in manufacturing? Maybe something to stand out that you're looking for when you are, hiring, or if you have any recommendations for those students coming to get their first job.
So for internships and stuff like that, really one of the things is, first of all, HIMSA does hire interns. And because we do hire interns, we kind of look anywhere from the gamut. It depends on what area we're at. If we've got to make sure someone's over the age of 18 to be on the shop floor, but they can be up in an engineering office prior to that. So general interest in the field. If they're doing robotics, it could be anything from VEX in middle school through FIRST Robotics in high school. That always shows interest into the field to put someone in. And it also could just be something as simple as they just want to try it, want to start discovering what's out there for them.
Great.
For us, the biggest thing is take pride in yourself, stand tall, be yourselves, have good attendance. Like I grew up was, if you can walk, you can work. That's the way that's my work ethic. And the important thing is attendance. And if the company's got a program, be the one to volunteer to be in that program. You'll learn more things. You'll move up in the company. You'll learn aspects of the company that you don't know by doing that, and you move up faster doing that. Always be that person that wants to do that little extra work. That's my best advice I can give for you.
Always keep a good attitude. Don't be a hot head and lose your stuff. Always keep a good attitude.
That's great.
Yeah, to kind of pair it off of that, you can always learn something from everyone. It doesn't matter if it's the janitor, if it's the maintenance tech. Everyone has something to learn at every level of the business.
And we had a question come in from educator joining, asking if both companies are hiring right now, and is there summer jobs available for high school students? And I know, Max, you mentioned the internship program. So can you share any information about any opportunities that you have? And also, where should students go to apply for those?
So for us, yes, we do have the internship program. We also have just part-time hires, full-time hires. And because we have all of those different ones, a lot of times, we've partnered with MidAmerica Industrial Park to do some internships. So we typically bring in one intern through the MidAmerica Industrial Park, and then we'll also bring in one college level intern for either in engineering or that type of job. Typically, it's either applied through MidAmerica or it's applied directly to our HR department.
Great.
We don't really have a summer program for high school kids. We are hiring right now, but we don't have a summer program for high school students. You gotta have to be 18 to work here, but we don't have summer programs.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. So, but you have kind of beginner level positions. Would you say that you just need to be 18 and over to kind of start at and maybe work your way up like you both have?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. All right, great. All right. Well, next question is, if someone was looking into manufacturing, and this can be a little bit more about why you chose manufacturing as well, but why do you think a student should pick a career in manufacturing?
One, it really comes down to what the person's interests are. If they like working with their hands, they like solving different problems every day, manufacturing is a great experience and a great thing to do. Beyond that, manufacturing's a very fun and exciting career because things are significantly changing.
Yeah, I would say that if you don't want a job that you're doing the same thing every single day, manufacturing is the way to go because you're doing something different every day. And it's always challenging. You always have a challenge. I mean, that's what I love about the job too. You're not repeating the same steps over and over and over. And you kind of learn things. You develop with how the world's going. You can learn through there because the way the manufacturing goes is kind of how the world's changing. Manufacturing changes with the world. So that's what I like about doing manufacturing. I would recommend it if you're looking into it.
Great. All right. Well, we just have 2 minutes left. So if there's any other questions from the educators and students joining, throw them in the chat now. For question that I have is, so if students are interested, or, this kind of sparked something in them today, learning about the different careers, what would you recommend they do in high school now, maybe before they're 18, to prepare for a career in manufacturing?
Really, I would start by talking with your teachers, talk with the faculty and staff around you, because they can a lot of times will reach out to local businesses and see what's available. Also, feel free to, if there's enough people interested, start reaching out to come do tours, come visit, come see what manufacturing is today. A lot of people envision manufacturing as the old careers that our parents and our grandparents grew up in, where it's a hot shop floor, it's a dirty environment, it's an unsafe environment. And I just recommend coming and seeing what it is today, because it's completely different than what a lot of people envision.
Do you guys see it as well? No, it's totally fine. I was just going to say, do you guys see that as well, that people kind of have a different perspective on manufacturing than it actually is, and that it's, kind of a dirty industry? I'm sure your guys' facilities are a lot different than what people imagine.
Yeah, our facility is a food grade facility, so we're pretty clean. I would recommend, if you're going into manufacturing, the biggest skills that you can work on is reading a tape measure and knowing your fractions and knowing how to add and subtract fractions. That's a big thing in our industry. Is you learn how to do that, you can almost do anything that we do. I did on the last one, you asked if you want to apply for Berry, go to berryglobal.com, and there is a place on there that you can go to there and apply for our location. If you want prior, make sure it says prior location. Yeah, we are the largest berry plant in the world, manufacturing plant in Pryor.
That's great. Do you know and you might not know, but do you know how many people work at your plant, an estimate, since you're the largest?
At this plant, we have 270 employees.
Okay, great. What about you, Max? How many employees are at your facility?
So we've got 4 facilities out here in the industrial park, and we've got approximately 140 employees between all of them. Some of those vary from assembly facilities to general manufacturing and fabrication facilities. And we've also got a industrial coatings or paint facility.
Great. All right. So last question that has come in today is, are there any tech school programs of value that would give you a leg up that you know of if someone's interested in going and pursuing a degree at a tech school or a program and then working for your organizations?
I'll kind of let you guys start off on this one.
For us, the only thing really tech school wise would be electrical and extrusion. OSU actually has a school for that. They have a program that our maintenance guys take for learning about extrusion motors and learning about electrical, and that would be the program that I would recommend if you want to do maintenance. But for plastic industry wise, it's just experience developing. That's pretty much the only thing I can tell you when it comes to like the tech school.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's going to be machining programs, welding programs, some electrical technician programs. So maintenance programs, there's a lot of different avenues from a tech school that does give you a leg up. If you're a high school student that just comes in without any tech school training, you are probably going to get the job, but you're going to start out a much lower position and a much lower salary. If you're coming in from a tech school, that does give you an initial bump. It gives you an initial position that you can start developing from. So, and it also shows us that you have experience and that you're willing to learn.
That's great. Well, I think we can go ahead and get things wrapped up for today. So thank you all so much for jumping on and joining the event today and exploring the careers in Oklahoma and in manufacturing. It's been a pleasure hosting you today, and thank you so much for letting us know about your company, Berry Global and Hemsaw. It was great having you today, and thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.